Hello there. I just never get a break, do I? Looks like the cat is once again out of the SPL bag. We can't have non-spoiled things. But yeah, if you haven't seen it already. Okay, let's talk. First of all, inbound off the Scarabs, if you didn't know that. Hardcore off the Leviathans, if you didn't know that. And yeah, the replacement for Hardcore has been somewhat spoiled by the solo lane giant, Mr. DW himself. I'll let him tell you. It's not him.
Shinto was like drunk talking to me, like how he wants me on the team and whatnot. But they never like officially invited me or anything. The team that did officially actually invite me was the Bolts instead. Now you can also kind of link the domino here. You know, I'm spoiling it a little bit.
He is spoiling it a little bit. And yeah, the chat more or less figured that one out. It was something that I had talked about being a possibility in the last video I made. I didn't even touch on the fact that Haddix had played with some of the Levi's members before when Hardcore was unable to travel to SWC a few years ago. But it seems like Haddix will be the replacement for Hardcore in the solo lane for the Leviathans. So there we go. News gets out fast, I guess. I think, let's see, I think Haddix also, let's go to his Twitch. Can I go to his Twitch from here? His Twitter, rather. He also like had cleared out his bio and things like that. Wrong screen. Nice job, Paul. Had like an empty bio and things like that, which some people had noticed previously to this kind of being spoiled. But anyway, looks like Haddix will be the one stepping in for the Levi's, which is definitely interesting. I thought that was the best option that the Leviathans could get. I think Haddix is a super sick player. I think he's the only one who was like available who's like close to a side grade for Hardcore. Like whether I think he's better, whether I think he's worse, I don't know. I think they're pretty close. And I think that if you can make a side grade roster change and maybe freshen up your team environment, bring in some new ideas. I mean, you look at what the Dragons have just managed to do with a roster change, and you've got to say it's probably worth a shot if you're struggling. Another SWC winning team, by the way, makes a roster change within like 6 months of winning Worlds. It seems to happen every year now. Every year since season 4 was like NRG made their roster change like going into fall split of season 4, I think, where they kicked Dimmy and picked up Maniac. And I think every other team has done it like then or earlier from then on, which is nuts. But yeah, here we go again. Scarabs. Let's talk briefly about the Scarabs, okay? I was watching Sam's stream earlier. He talked about it a little bit. I don't have any links or anything for stuff like this. Sorry, chat. I was like working all day. I've only just finished work. And I've jumped on to record this so I can get it out before doing a Pashno stream. Scarabs. Sam said that they removed inbound because they were looking for a little bit more direction from the support role. He basically said, yeah, he said that he himself isn't that much of a definitive shot caller, but they're looking for a support player who is more of a definitive shot caller. I think he said that inbound does call and does talk, but maybe just not in the way that they wanted him to. So that was his reasoning behind the replacement. He says that they have a replacement in mind, and it seemed like it was all but a done deal. Other things that people have noticed is Hardcore is playing support in ranked at the moment. Whether we can read too much into that, I don't know, but maybe there's a chance he's the one coming in for the Scarabs. It seems to me like it would be like an easy decision for the Bolts to just grab him, but maybe they are a team that really really seems to have like a close bond and a certain way they want to interact, and they seem to be like good friends who get on well. And I think they'd be looking for somebody in that same vein. Whether that'll happen, whether it'll end up being Hardcore, we'll see. But at the moment, signs point to maybe. But again, I don't know if Hardcore would be that definitive shot caller you were looking for in support. So it's all a little bit confusing and all a little bit scary and strange. But we have a summer roster apocalypse. It's going on. This is the news that I have as we are now. Potentials for Bolt solo lane. Like, could we see Scary D move over there? Could we see Equa back with Barracuda? Those guys teamed together for a while and seemed close. Like, Barra seemed to really like and really rate Equa. Is there any chance that he could end up over there? I don't know. I do feel like the Valks team should probably... I hope that they stick together at this point. I feel like the time for them to make roster changes already passed. And they didn't, and they grew through it, and they made it past the sort of really rough spot they were in. And I'm hoping to see them go on the up and up now. So I kind of hope they stick together. But yeah, I feel like this is the best thing that could have happened for the Levi's. We'll see whether it's the worst thing that could have happened for the Bolts. I mean, if it's just a straight swap, Haddix for hardcore, I feel like neither team's that much worse off. But the question is, does it stay that way? Is there any chance that Jake now ups and moves over to the Scarabs? With Haddix, like one of his good friends being gone from the Bolts, with things shaking up, with the Bolts maybe not having won enough recently, is there a chance that he ends up moving over to the Dragons? The Dragons? I am terrible with team names today. The Scarabs. I don't know. I think, for me, that would be a downgrade for Jake. I do think that the Bolts are a better team with better players in most roles. I would say maybe Stu versus Barra. There's a conversation to be had there. But the other roles, I would right now go for the Bolts players, depending on who they have in solo. If it's hardcore, yeah, he's pretty darn good in my opinion. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think the Bolts are a team that might not necessarily just pick up hardcore and stick him in solo. Because I feel like they value team cohesion and chemistry a lot, and being happy to scrim with the team and getting on well. I feel like they value that a lot, and it might affect who they pick up. But yeah, this is the news I've got. That's what's coming through at the moment. I will continue to update, I guess. Hopefully see your patch notes in about an hour after this video goes up. I'm just going to put it live straight away. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Leave a like, please subscribe, comment, all that good shit. And peace out. Bye.